the streetcar, everyone. We are excited to put on one heck of a parade for you, one that I hope and expect to be the very best we have ever held. And by the way, we're good judges of that because we've had quite a few over the years. So a few details we wanted to tell you about it, and then I will break for Kathy Nelson, followed by the Chief of Police, Stacey Graves. After that, we'll take a few questions. A few different things that are important for us to know. This time last year, we had close to 1 million Chiefs fans flood downtown Kansas City to get a glimpse of our world champions. We anticipate a crowd that is just as big, and note that the weather will be much, much more pleasant this year than it was either in either of the previous Chiefs parades. It will frankly be a lot more comparable to the Royals 2015 celebration, so plan accordingly. That might mean you need to come in a little bit earlier. We might expect larger crowds. We, from a public safety perspective, are ready for that, but we encourage all of you, if you have a place you went to last year in 2020, it may be crowded by the time you show up. This year's parade will begin at 11 a.m., 1 hour earlier than last year. So 11 a.m., come in a little bit earlier. This is to ensure that the crowd dissipates before peak dining hours. As you might have heard from a few folks, Wednesday is Valentine's Day as well as Ash Wednesday. We want to make sure that those who are celebrating, recognizing, enjoying Kansas City, or perhaps spending a few dollars in Kansas City, have an opportunity to do so. So that's why we've moved up the parade start time to 11 a.m. In addition, our friends at Visit KC have launched a campaign for the kingdom from the heart. For the kingdom and from the heart. That helps us promote small businesses in our community. We know how vital our small businesses are to our community and our economy, and we want to make sure that we continue to support all of them. So, for the kingdom, from the heart. That means get out today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and long after to go and celebrate and support Kansas City businesses. The streetcar will be in operation before the parade starts and will reopen in the evening that day. And a few other logistics, and I promise I'll get out of the way. The parade this year begins on Grand Boulevard and 6th Street, and then heads south to Pershing Road. So 6th and Grand. That is different than perhaps those of you who would start in years past in the riverfront area or in the city market area. The parade turns west, as is the tradition, on Pershing Road to Union Station. The Victory Rally stage will be in front of the Union Station on the lawn of the National World War I Museum and Memorial. And we give them a shout out and our Parks Department in Kansas City for being fabulous hosts to lots of people, working well with Union Station along the way. The Victory Rally is slated to start at 12:45 p.m. and then it ends shortly after the parade ends. So 12:45 p.m. the rally starts at least or shortly after the parade ends. You can visit chiefsparade.com for parade map, park and ride locations, street closures, and more. I'll also give a shout out to City Communications. There's also kcmo.gov/parade where there are all types of fun details, but they put chiefsparade.com here because probably they want to send you there. Next, we'll hear from some special people, but I have a few things to say first. I had the blessing of being at the Super Bowl last night where Kansas Cityans and Chiefs fans came alive. It was an incredible game. All of our hearts somehow survived. I don't know how many extra calls KCFD had to handle last night from people who were having just an amazing and exceptional moment, but it was great. And the story of the Chiefs throughout this season and their perseverance helps share the story of Kansas City and its perseverance. We are so excited for this parade, not just to celebrate the Chiefs, although we are thrilled to celebrate them and welcome them home later this afternoon, but also Kansas City to celebrate all of you, to celebrate the commitment to your team, to building an outstanding community, the workers who help us put this event on, and more than anything, how great it is to be a Kansas Cityan in 2024. May we run it back in the future, and may we have one heck of a parade coming up on Wednesday. Now I turn it over to the CEO of the Kansas City Sports Commission and a bunch of other things, the exceptional, the often imitated, never duplicated, Miss Kathy Nelson.
Oh, Mayor, I do love working with you. Thank you for that. As the Mayor shared, my name is Kathy Nelson. I serve as President and CEO for the Kansas City Sports Commission, and I also serve as President and CEO for Visit KC. And I really do want to acknowledge George and the great staff here at Union Station for all that you do. So So thank you, George, for putting up with us on the multiple big events now that we host here. And Union Station will be closed to the public on Wednesday, February 14th until the celebration rally ends. The Union Station parking garage will be open for those wishing to purchase a parking pass, and you can go to unionstation.org to reserve your spot. And Union Station will reopen following the parade and the rally, because we know a lot of you have reservations for dinner at Pierpont's that night, so we want you to be able to get in here and enjoy your dinner and celebrate all the love about Kansas City. So Union Station will reopen after the rally so you can enjoy your Valentine's dinner. And a huge thank you to Kelly O'Neill Wenzel, Kelly O'Neill and her staff at O'Neill Events. You know, we were laughing about this earlier with our fire department about everyone's like, great, so now you get to plan a parade. Hundreds and hundreds of hours go into parade planning. We didn't wake up this morning and ask, well, what should we do? You've seen the street pole banners going up. You've seen the fencing going up. That has been in the works, just like every other city that's planning something. So that didn't just start. I can tell you we've had weeks and weeks of meetings. So Kelly, thank you for joining our sports commission team and your team. So each of our parades is a very special experience for Kansas City, and since this one does fall on Valentine's Day, Visit KC has created a campaign dedicated to highlighting small businesses, including florists, restaurants, chocolatiers, retail, and more. Our theme this week, as the mayor shared, is For the Kingdom, From the Heart, Kansas City's Love Story. And it's time to showcase our Kansas City heart to the world and our love story and how we support our community. So all week we will be showcasing Kansas City's businesses through a landing page on our website, through emails, advertising, and a very robust social media plan. Additionally, Visit KC has created a free marketing toolkit that any business can use and be a part of this iconic moment for Kansas City this week. And whether they utilize that for social media, for a cookie design or a t-shirt, small businesses can take advantage of this unique combination of love for the Chiefs, Kingdom, our community, and each other. And you can find all that information out at visitkc.com/kingdom. So for transportation, and we have transportation experts in the room with us today that can answer any questions following our remarks. Wednesday, February 14th, the KC streetcar passenger service will be available on all streetcar stops except for Union Station. So starting Wednesday morning, riders and parade goers must exit the KC streetcar at the Crossroads southbound stop, just like we did for the NFL draft. So if you came down for the draft, exact same experience. You can take the streetcar in, get off at 19th in the Crossroads, and then you will walk over. The KC streetcar service will start at its regularly scheduled time of 6 a.m. and will operate in a 10 to 12 minute frequency until approximately 10:30 a.m. And at 10:30 a.m., we will then pause service on the streetcar. That streetcar will be suspended then until the end of the Chiefs Kingdom parade and rally. That will then resume once the tracks are clear between 20th and Pershing Road. Park and ride shuttles, and thank you so much to our friends at KCATA. We are going to do that again, and they will run from 7 to 10:30 in the morning, and then again from noon until 4. So when you go to your streetcar or your park and ride location, when you're done with the rally, go back to that exact same location to get back on the correct bus to get you back to your park and ride location. The park and ride locations are as follows: Hy-Vee Arena, West Bottoms area, Swope Park and the Zoo, Oak Park Mall, 47th Street Transit Center, and the former Kmart in the Northland at Choteau and Vivian. There will be parking restrictions along and around the parade route, and these restrictions will go into effect at 11 a.m. tomorrow on Tuesday, February 13th, and extend late into the day on Wednesday the 14th. We do plan to reopen our streets as soon as possible so that all of you can enjoy dinner on Wednesday night at all of our downtown great restaurants. All of this information is available, as the mayor shared, at chiefsparade.com, and please take time to read through that. There is so much great information there. We want you to enjoy this day. We know with the weather we anticipate hopefully larger crowds, and if you do choose to drive, make sure you carpool as best possible. There will be parking available, as I mentioned, at Union Station, at Crown Center, and there are multiple lots and garages all throughout the downtown area. So look into those options, prepay for your parking, and you'll have a great day. Now I'd like to welcome Police Chief Stacy Graves to talk about the safety and security protocols for our day on Wednesday. Stacy?
Thank you. Congratulations again to the Kansas City Chiefs on their Super Bowl win. No one is more prepared than us. We are going to make sure Kansas City has a safe, fun day. Kansas City, Missouri Police Department will be assisted in keeping the parade route, Union Station, and the surrounding area safe with help from hundreds of our two-state, Missouri and Kansas law enforcement agencies, as well as our federal partners, many of whom will be both seen and unseen. The perimeter of the parade will be firmly secured and protected for maximum public safety. We expect those attending to do their part in ensuring a safe environment for all. First, be aware of your surroundings. If you see something, say something. There will be officers probably in everyone's line of sight. Contact an officer or call 911. Do not leave bags unattended. Contact an officer again or call 911 should you see an unattended bag. Any operation, deployment, or monitoring of any aerial machinery, such as a drone, any kind of aircraft, or some type of balloon, or ultralights, tethered or otherwise, is prohibited, not allowed at any time during the parade. Visitors may be subject to prosecution and fines for violations of FAA regulated airspace, but we're not going to do that because we're going to have a good time and everyone's going to be safe. So plan ahead for parking, prepare for road closures, traffic congestion, walking, and wearing comfortable attire. Make a plan if you become separated from anyone in your party to include your children. Ensure your children have contact information for their parents or guardians on their person. I know that in years past we've had some kiddos that have gotten away from their parents, and some of them had like a note attached to their wrists, around their neck, or even we even saw someone who had their name and a phone number written on their hand. There will be 8 child reunification locations along the route that are posted on our website, the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department's website, and social media. There will also be 3 mobile response teams for child reunification. As far as medical tents, the Kansas City Fire Department will be having tents on the east side of the National World War I Museum, as well as mobile routes along the parade route. Lastly, the uniformed officers keeping everyone safe in Kansas City will be allowed to wear an official KC Chiefs hat during their shift on the parade and out all across Kansas City, just to make sure that you see us and that we see you, and that everyone have a safe and happy celebration.
All right, we are ready. I want to make sure before we start questions to acknowledge some of the other figures who are here with us today. From the fire department, our acting fire chief, Ross Grundyson. From the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority, Frank White III. From Kansas City Streetcar, Tom Guerin, and many other distinguished guests, as well as my good friend George. So we have everybody here you could possibly need. Any questions for you all? Feel free.
Check. Mayor Lucas, this one's for you in particular. Gotta start with a fun question. We saw you on the field after the Super Bowl, this close to Taylor Swift. Did you talk to her? Is she coming to the parade? How did it go down?
I have absolutely no comment on the whereabouts of Miss Swift. I know she has representatives who can talk to you on all of that. It was a tremendous honor. Myself, the governor of Missouri, several others had a chance to be on the field. I try not to bother Miss Swift in her daily operations, so talked to a number of our players, our coaches, got a hug from Andy Reid, all very exciting, but I tend to know a little bit more about football than all things Swift, although I am wearing a friendship bracelet. That's kind of just the thing now. So stay tuned. It's a reason to watch the parade on Wednesday for everybody or to come on out. Other questions for you?
Yeah, maybe this is for Chief Graves. Are you prepared one way or another if she does show up, obviously, to change security at the parade?
Absolutely, we're prepared. We will have at least 600 Kansas City, Missouri police officers in and around the route. We will have over 250 outside agencies, about 34 other law enforcement agencies, as well as our federal partners. We are ready. Every year, which thankfully we have another year, we get better and better. We look at what we could have done better on the last one just to make sure that every time it's just a safer and safer environment for everyone to have fun.
Numbers-wise, maybe this is a question for Kathy. Comparing the past 3 parades that we had, was 2014 or 2015 the biggest when the Royals won the World Series? Do you know that answer?
So they're all very similar. I wouldn't tell you that any parade was much bigger than the other. I think it looked a little different. We've learned a lot of lessons. In 2015, the crowd from the parade route flowed into the rally, right? So all of those people along the route came down this way. We've learned and gotten smarter about that, where now they can watch different video boards and things along the route, and we encourage people, if you're coming to the parade, you don't necessarily want to come down to the rally as well, so pick your position. So I think that it's hard to judge from a picture from in front of the building, because there could be as many or more along the route throughout those years.
Why is River Market not a part of the parade route?
So we've learned again, every time we get to do this, and thank you to the Chiefs, there is so much going on down there. With, of course, the new Casey Current Stadium and construction, there are a lot more residents in that area, and it complicates that for us. And we want to make sure we're getting people where they need to be. So for us, it made a lot more sense to not start those buses in that area, but the parade, just as normal, starts at 6th and Grand. So it won't look any different along that route, but this way allows you to jump on the streetcar. We couldn't use a streetcar before because we were using that River Market area, so this just opens it up to get more people down here.
And I have a question for Braves. Comparing this parade to, say, last year, with the weather going to be as nice as it's going to be, plus Valentine's Day, is alcohol consumption a bigger concern for your officers and people driving?
Yes, and we will have people out and about for that. I will say this is a family event. We want to make sure that everyone that comes here feels safe and is, like I said, that the public is doing their part to ensure everyone else's environment is happy and everyone is able to celebrate in a safe environment. In response to the people who we think may be driving intoxicated, we will have officers out and about specifically for that reason, to just make sure that the roadways for everyone can get home safe as well.
Any other questions?
I'm just curious, do these get easier to plan as we kind of go on, or do they all kind of...
No.
or did they-
I mean, it's not 2014 where we laugh that we were building the plane in the sky in 2014, not knowing exactly how to do this. We have so many experts around our community, St. Patrick's Parade, the American Royal Parade. We utilize our resources, but it does change. There are complications every year. There are people that change over in their jobs, people leave, move on, you've got to retrain, and then always looking at how can we do it better. So I wouldn't tell you that it gets any easier. We may have waited a few weeks in late fall to really start thinking about this, but keeping everyone safe is our responsibility, along with the police, and making that a fun and memorable celebration for the Chiefs. We don't take that for granted, so no, it doesn't get easier.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys have any other questions?
All right.
Okay.
Right.
They might want to grab one
Never.
also,
Yeah, that's
potentially, but
That's all easy for me.